I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So, for today's viewing pleasure, some Chaos Forces have taken control of like an imperial outpost kind of thing, and a company or so of, I don't know, imperial guard sizes. Oh, I'm working on the size thing because I want to have a regiment of my own at some point in the future, but I digress. But a group of imperial guard have been sent in to destroy the Chaos invaders and retake the outpost. So yeah, it should be a good time. All right, so here we have our outpost. A little bit of a no man's land here in front. Got this little strip all the way down to that D6 behind the Lehman Russ. So with this little sheer thing here, that's supposed to be like a rock wall thing that goes way up that they can't really climb or get into. And yeah, Walmart and some trees back here. I'm looking forward to the Imperial Guard invasion of this, especially with all the tank traps and stuff in the front, so that tanks really can't get too close. Yeah, I'm expecting some good stuff. Alright, so for today's Chaos occupying force, we have a joint grouping of Death Guard and Iron Warriors. So for the Iron Warriors, we have a Dark Apostle, a 10-man group of Space Marines, led by an aspiring champion with a plasma pistol and a power fist. 6 of these guys have bolt guns, and 3 of them have bolt pistol chainsword. 5 havocs. The aspiring champion here has a mace, and then a flamer. Then we got an auto cannon, a reaper chain cannon. I don't ever remember what the one on the right is. I just run it as a second last cannon. A halberd with a halberd hammer and the twin plasma thingy, or the single plasma thingy. It's got a plasma. So that's what I have for Iron Warriors. So for Death Guard, led by Typhus, we also have a Plague Surgeon, I believe. Mythic Blight Hauler. 5 Blight Lord Terminators with Plague Spewer, Blight Launcher, the Flail of Corruption. This guy has a combi. I'm not even sure if it's legal, but it's like a combi Flamer Plasma. 7 Plague Marines. A little bit of everything. Flail of Corruption, Blight. Yeah, it's a Blight Launcher. Plasma Gun on the Aspiring Champion. Plague Knives on the Icon. And then 3 10-man groups of Poxwalkers. I love painting these guys. I really need to finish them. So, yeah. Death Guard and Total Chaos Forces, who will be hopefully semi-defending the outpost against the Imperial Guard. Alright, so this is pretty much all of my, well, I say pretty much. This is all of my current Imperial Guard. Led by this Kidian command squad. They have the flag that scares me. It scares me in terms of painting it. Yeah. It's another Kidian command squad without a flag. Both these guys have the Voxcaster radio guys. We've got 3 10-man squads of the Kidian shock troops. Each one of these guys has a radio guy, the Vox thing, a flamer, and a grenade launcher with 6 guys with las guns. It's a chainsword bolt pistol on the sergeant on that one. Yeah, it might be chainsword bolt pistol on all of them now. And then the bastard son accidentally made a guy with a plasma gun. Plasma gun, flamethrower, fox guy. 6 las guns. 3 Bulgarins, grenade launchers. They all have the slab shields, I just haven't finished painting them yet. Commissar. So we got 2 groups of 2 of the field ordnance batteries. Both of them have minus rocket launchers in them. This one also has a las cannon and then a bombast cannon. A heavy weapons squad with a las cannon, autocannon, and a mortar. 2 armored sentinels. Each one has the hunter killer missile and the sentinel chainsaw. The one on the left then has that heavy flamer. The one on the right has a heavy plasma gun. It's written down. A Lehman Russ. I love this tank. It just looks so good. It's got a las cannon, twin meltas, and then the Lehman Russ battle cannon. And then really the workhorse of my Imperial Guard is the Rogel Dorn. It's got a heavy stubber, the Castigator Gatling cannon, twin melta, the twin multi-melta, and then its own Rogel Dorn battle cannon. This thing's just a beast. It does a lot of damage. I think the tank traps probably aren't going to slow it down too much in terms of firepower. So, I don't know. But that's what we got for Imperial Guard. And these guys are actually 12 power level less than the Chaos, so I don't know how well that's going to affect. I mean, I'm pretty sure the shock troops can take out the poxwalkers, but after that, who knows? Guess we're going to find out. Alright, well, I'm going to roll deployment, set these guys up, and we're going to have a whale of a good time. Man, I should stop saying that. After I did the roll-off, it occurred to me that since this is almost kind of a defense, but not really, I didn't really need the roll-off, but either way, the Imperial Guard definitely won. So we got Sentinels in the front, with the Bogrins in between, heavy weapon squad next to them, all the field ordnance batteries in the back with the tanks. I filled up this entire side with all the infantry in the hopes that these guys could soften up the Death Guard Iron Warriors a little bit. Well, all of these guys advanced out and started making their way towards the outpost area. That's the plan anyway. Alright, so Death Guard Iron Warriors. The Blightlord Terminators are in their teleportarium. Typhus is up here on the very top. Not the very top, but the top. Dark Apostle down here. Havoc's over here on the other side of Typhus. Then pretty much everything is on the front row here. Plague Marines, Poxwalkers. I said something about a Plague Surgeon earlier, but that's a Biologist Purifier. More Poxwalkers. The Hellbrute, the Mephitic Blighthauler, and then the Iron Warrior Space Marines in the Wallamars back there. So yeah, Imperial Guard get to go first, so I might have already said it, but this is gonna be fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. So yeah, movement, Imperial Guard, badassery is about to occur. It's kind of like a brown mass is just moving its way steadily this way. These guys in front got a decent advance, and then everybody's just following behind them. The plasma gun guys are in the back. It's kind of like punishment because I made the model wrong. The Sentinels and the Bulgarins just moved forward. Yeah, the artillery and tanks will just never move. They're just gonna pummel the crap out of these guys. Gotta paint the Psyker, so probably won't be playing it for a while. So shooting phase. That was some craziness. That was some ridiculous craziness. Alright, so the heavy weapon squad and the Lehman Russ, between them killed off the halberd. And then the Lehman Russ with its battle cannon killed off the Mephitic Blight Hauler all on its own. That was crazy. The Rogaldorn managed to kill off 2 of these Plague Marines, which is all that the ordnance batteries were able to kill. But that was really pretty decent. Pretty nice. Way too far away to charge though, so that'll take it over to the Chaos Force's turn. They just pretty much lost, yeah, a heavy support squad and whatever the Blight Hauler is, fast attack maybe. But the loss of the Halberd is definitely a blow. So let's see if they can pull something out this turn maybe? I don't know. So movement. Alright, so the Plague Marines have moved forward to try and block in this hole here. Poxwalkers behind them advanced up. Didn't really get very far. These Poxwalkers managed to advance up, and block this hole. And these guys are going around the wall of martyrs and just kind of stretched out in a line. They got kind of far. Everybody else is just staying put. The enemy is in fact coming to them. Alright, so that'll take us into the Psyker phase. So Typhus is going to attempt to manifest Miasma Pestilence on these Plague Marines. Goes off on a 6. That's a 6. I mean, it's more than a 6, but it's a 6. So these Plague Marines are -1 to hit in the melee phase. Like, yeah, -1 to hit it, like, on them. Enemies have to roll -1 to hit. Yes. So the shooting phase. I feel like this is mainly going to be the Iron Warriors. Alright, well it is apparently not the Chaos. They haven't woken up yet. The Havocs did a point of damage to the Bulgrins. And the 3 of these guys with their bolt guns are within range of the Sentinel. And they managed to do a point of damage to it. And that was all for that. So charging, these Plague Marines are going to charge into these Bulgrins. I hope they make it because that'll be awesome. Plague Marines did indeed make it in. Suffered no damage in Overwatch. They traded blows with the Bulgrins, but nobody managed to, well, I mean, they wounded, but nobody managed to actually do any damage. There was some pretty awesome saves on both sides there. Alright, so that'll make it the Imperial Guard's turn again. Movement. So the brown wave is continuing on its way. This group advanced, but everybody else just moved forward. Slowly starting to make their way this way. So we'll do the shooting phase. The Poxwalkers definitely suffered a whole bunch of casualties this turn. This Sentinel killed a Poxwalker. This one killed 3 with its flamer. Heavy weapon squad here managed to kill off 1 of these Havocs. And the field ordnance batteries killed the other 3, leaving just the aspiring champion. Let's see. This Cadian commander gave these guys forward for the Emperor, letting them shoot even though they advanced. It didn't help them. They weren't able to wound against the poxwalkers, which was terrible. The Cadian commander back here gave this squad first rank fire, second rank fire, changing their las guns to rapid fire 2, which also didn't help them against these poxwalkers. The Lehman Russ, though, managed to kill off 3 of the regular Space Marines back here in the Wall of Martyrs. And then the Dorn, being all crazy like, killed off 7 of the poxwalkers and an additional 3 more of the Space Marines that were back here. So there's just a whole lot less of these guys. This Sentinel is going to charge into these Plague Marines here. And this Sentinel will charge into these poxwalkers. And then we'll continue combat with the Plague Marines and the Bogrins. Alright, well, this Sentinel failed to make its charge, but it's okay because poxwalkers don't have guns. This one, it would have been impossible to fail, but it also failed to hit at all with its chain sword. The Bogrins did manage to kill one of the Plague Marines, but the Plague Marines managed to kill off one of the Bogrins. Not really a fun trade there, but it is what it is. Alright, that'll make it the Chaos grouping's turn. Alright, a whole lot of movement this turn. Plague Marines are going to stay in combat over here. Poxwalkers moved up to this whole area here. The Putrefier moved up to the fence edge. Both the Aspiring Champion for the Havocs and Typhus advanced down off of the hill. Blight Lord Terminators popped in here in front of the Wall of Martyrs. These 3 remaining poxwalkers just moved forward towards the shock troops. The few remaining Space Marines are just hanging out in the trench. And the Dark Apostle advanced over to the trench. Okay, so for Psyker things, Typhus is going to attempt to manifest a smite on this armored sentinel. So it goes off on a 5. Kind of barely gets it with a 6. And he'll do 1 point of damage to it. Alright, so we'll definitely have a shooting phase. The Blightlord Terminators killed the 3 of the Cadian shock troops in this front grouping here. Unfortunately, they're the only ones really in range. So, charge phase. These 3 remaining poxwalkers will charge into the shock troops. These poxwalkers will charge into the sentinel. And these poxwalkers are going to try and throw themselves into this mass fray over here by charging into the sentinel. Well, into this sentinel. Alright, this is going to be a good time. All of the poxwalkers made their charge, which was super amazing. They did manage to kill one of these guys, and unfortunately all died for the experience. Can't even harm the sentinel besides tying it up, and the sentinel killed one of them. Same thing over here, they can't even wound the sentinel. They lost 1 to the sentinel. And again, the Bulgrins and the Plague Marines are just trading blows and saving against each other. Crazy stuff. Alright, that'll take us back to the Imperial Guard. and movement. Alright, so the brown tide is continuing even further forward now. The remnants of this first squad and the command squad behind them both advanced forward. Everybody else just moved, except for the plasma gun squad. They just stayed where they are. And then both sentinels and the Bulgrins have fallen back. Hopefully the heavy weapon squad can do to these poxwalkers what they did to the havocs. Not the heavy weapon squad, the field battery. I was looking at the field batteries and I said heavy weapon squad. My brain's just not always with me sometimes. Alright, so we'll do some Imperial Guard shooting. So like last round, these guys gave these guys forwards for the Emperor so they could advance and shoot. And then that guy, these guys, that KDN commander gave these guys first rank fire, second rank fire for their last guns to be rapid fire too. So this squad of the field ordnance battery killed the majority of these guys. And then this grouping over here managed to kill the last one. The other field ordnance battery did indeed kill off this entire group of poxwalkers here. The Lehman Russ. The Lehman Russ managed to take out the last two of these Iron Warrior legionnaires that were in the Wall of Martyrs. And the Rogel Dorn. I always feel like this guy, does most of the work, kills off most of the guys. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But he did manage to kill off one of the Terminators and the two remaining Plague Marines that were over here. So things are starting to look a little dire. Nobody's charging. Nobody's close enough for that. That was ridiculous. Glad I'm not rolling dice for this game. I'm rolling dice, but I'm glad I'm not rolling dice on camera because, Jesus. I can only imagine a full squad of shock troops with all las guns or whatever. Just the amount of dice for that. Either way, yeah. So that'll make it to chaos. Grouping's turn. I don't think they're gonna survive, but hopefully they'll take a lot of Acadians with them. So movement. Alright, all these guys are just moving forward. Typhus and the Purifier are going down the center. The Aspiring Champion for the Havocs are going down the side. Terminators are heading towards these shock troops, and I have a feeling they're going to tear them up. And then the Dark Apostle with his little dudes is coming up behind them. So the Psychic phase should be Typhus into these Bulgrins. Goes up on a 5. Does not get it with a 3. Well, sad face for that. Shooting phase then. The Blightlord Terminators, with a little minor help from the Dark Apostle, managed to completely destroy this front group of Cadian shock troops. So for the charge phase, the Terminators are going to charge into the Cadian command squad. Pretty decent length here, going for a 7-inch charge. I mean, in Terminator armor, I'm sure that's, funny to watch. The Terminators definitely made that charge. They kind of overmade their charge, in fact. and definitely killed off everybody in the Cadian command squad. Alright, Chaos is still alive. It does make it the guard's turn, though. Yeah, we'll do some movement. So the brown line continues moving its way forward towards the outpost. These shock troops are impressively close to these guys here. I especially like how, these guys are still super tiny compared to the Legionnaires and Terminator armor. Still nice to see. Sentinels, Bulgarins all moved forward, getting closer to the Biologist Purifier and the Aspiring Champion here. Alright, so I'm going to make a bet that this is the last round, but anything is possible. Chaos does tend to start rolling really well towards the end of the game, so we'll see. So we're going to do some shooting. Lots and lots of shooting. Alright, so between the Sentinels and the Field Ordnance batteries, they managed to kill off the Biologist Purifier and the Aspiring Champion for the Havocs. The Lehman Russ killed off one of the Terminators, and then the Rogodorn took care of the other three. So for charging, the Bogrins and this Sentinel are going to try and charge into Typhus. So the Bogrins made the charge, but the Sentinel did not. The Bonehead managed to actually wound Typhus for 2 points of damage. And they managed to save against his wounding attack things. That was pretty cool. That makes it Typhus and the Dark Apostle's turn for movement. The Dark Apostle has just moved forward his distance. Typhus will stay in combat with the Bogrins, and in fact will attempt to manifest Smite upon them. Well, that time he finally got it. Just barely got it with a 5, but, a smite's a smite. D3 wounds. Alright, so 2 wounds, which will put one of the Bulgarins down to 1. And the shooting phase, which will be this Dark Apostle with his bolt pistol. Chaos Dice really want to save, but they just don't want to hit. So, failed to actually hit anything with that. So it's going to try the long charge into these Cadian shock troops. And then Typhus and the Bulgarins will continue to fight it out. The Dark Apostle and his disciples made it into the combat and managed to kill off a whole bunch of the shock troops. They didn't do anything in return. Typhus killed off a Bulgarin, took a point of damage for his experience. These guys are just really holding on, hanging in there. Alright, I said it last turn, but maybe this turn, on the Imperial Guard's turn, maybe this time they'll be able to kill off the Chaos Alliance. So, movement. I'm feeling super confident, so all I'm going to do for movement is have the Bulgarin and the remaining shock troops fall back. And now we're just going to unleash everything on these two guys. Yeah, Chaos Dice definitely really like to save toward the end. Yeah, pretty much all of these guys, all of the infantry anyway, shot into the Dark Apostle and pretty much missed with everything, and he saved against everything that didn't. It took this heavy weapon squad and this field ordnance battery to kill off the Dark Apostle. And it took everything from both tanks. It was in... Yeah. Took everything in range from both tanks to kill off Typhus. That guy's a tough bastard. Death Guard are hard to kill. That disgustingly resilient thing is just super annoying. Super annoying. So yeah, the Imperial Guard have managed to kill off the Chaos Invaders and reclaim their outpost. Yay! Imperial Guard again. I'm still looking for something that'll take these guys out that's not a Chaos Knight set. I don't know yet what it's gonna be. Like bigger Necrons, maybe like a couple thousand points of Necrons. I don't know. If you made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it, especially Imperial Guard games, because I don't know. I'm just in love with them. I feel the same way towards these guys that I felt about Necrons the first time I saw them. So yeah. So the next video is 150, which I guess is like a nice round, even large number. So it'll be the multi-faction shooty only battle. Like 12, I think, factions involved in that one. And then May, my birthday is mid-May. And last year I did Apocalypse Necrons versus pretty much the 5 other armies I had at the time. I got a lot more factions that I have access to or own myself currently, so not quite sure yet what I'll be doing for that, but I'll be doing some sort of special Necron Apocalypse related birthday experience this year as well, so I'll have that hopefully coming soonish. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.